Waiting for that huge noise when Tim bangs the gavel.
Yeah. Call to order this meeting for the Board of County Commissioners. I would invite you to stand for an invocation by Tom Gilgore, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. I had to say, I thought it was like church. It was so quiet. Let's pray, please. Heavenly Father, thank you for this beautiful Colorado day, for this day when we take one step closer toward a general election. God, thank you. On this day, I'm so thankful for our elected officials. Lord, keep them safe throughout this country. Father, help us as citizens, because today is one step where we get to choose our leadership. And so, Father, I pray that every citizen takes advantage of that hard-fought privilege and right to vote. So, God, help us to take control of that as citizens. So thank you for this opportunity, and this opportunity we have right now to address our elected officials and they to address us. God, I pray for our county. I pray for its citizens. Father, give us peace in our nation and peace in this world. For every person is created in your image and every person matters. In your name we pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Payne.
Present.
Commissioner McFall.
Present.
Commissioner Bell.
Present.
County Attorney Jackson.
Present.
County Manager Bryant. Present. Planning and Zoning Director Koch.
Present.
Next, we'll move to approval of agenda. Don't believe there's any changes.
Mr. Chair, it appears to me as though the agenda today is already long enough, so I hope we have no additions. With that, I move to approve today's agenda as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Commissioner Payne.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Move on to consent agenda. See that we have no scheduled public hearings coming up.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Commissioner Payne.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Move on to administrative and informational. Number one item, County Manager's Report. Good morning, Sunny.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So a couple of quick items that we have going on right now for county projects. So the administration roof project has started. So we are working on the west end of this building, and they do have 60 days to complete the project, so they're well underway with that. And the engineering has started for the Phantom Canyon Tunnel project repairs. So if anybody has been listening throughout these meetings, we've talked about when they did our bridge inspections, they actually came back saying that one of the tunnels at Phantom Canyon had a crack in it. So it's something that the Department of Transportation wrote a DOLA grant, and we received $100,000 to go towards those repairs. So the engineering has started, and we're hoping to do the construction piece of that sometime this fall. And then the Department of Transportation crews are finishing up all of their chip seal projects, so they should be done by the end of this week with the chip seal and the fog seal on that. And then some of the community events that we have coming up, and I'm not sure if Commissioner Bell will talk a little more about this, but on Saturday we have the brick dedication. It's at 10 o'clock. And on actually this weekend, so we're pretty excited to announce that the Pathfinder Park, they're actually using it for our first professional senior rodeo circuit event. So if you are interested in rodeo events and you don't have anything going on, go out to Pathfinder Park on Saturday and Sunday for that. And for more information, they have a Facebook page set up with all of their events and everything. And then there's various events going on throughout the weekend for the 4th of July. So I know Florence has quite a few things going on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and then they have 4th of July events on the 4th. And just a reminder, we are on Stage 2 fire ban, so make sure that you're not lighting off any of your own fireworks. All of that is prohibited. And to get a list of everything that is restricted, you can go onto the county website or onto the Facebook page, and they have a pretty detailed list on there. And then last, along those lines, the county offices will be closed next Wednesday for the 4th of July. So if you have business that you need done at the county, make sure you do it either before or after that.
Okay, thank you very much. And we'll move on into the sales and use tax report.
Okay, so the sales tax collections for the month of April were $389,261, which is up $20,435 from April of last year. Year to date, we are up $56,387. And the auto use tax collections were at $112,645, which is up $27,801 from last year. And year to date, we're up $72,038. The construction use tax, we're at $10,498, which is slightly down, and we're still down year to date, but we actually do have the collections coming in from the City of Canyon City and the City of Florence, so I believe those numbers should get back on track in June. And then for the lodging tax, we collected $7,910, which is up $6,725 from last year, and year to date we're up $1,860. And then on the sheriff retail sales tax, it came in at $259,507, which is up $13,623 from April of last year, and year to date we're up $37,591. And then on the sheriff auto use tax, came in at $75,097, which is up $18,534 from last year. Year to date, we are up $47,965. And last, construction use tax came in at $6,999, which once again is slightly down, but with the payments from the municipalities, we expect those numbers to go back up.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, does anybody else have any reports and or?
I got a couple of things that I just want to kind of add. Sonny touched on these, but the fire restrictions, stage 2, including fireworks. I don't know if you've left town or not, but it's worse the further you get out of town being dry. It's so very dry out there. So stage 2 includes no open flame whatsoever, no cigarettes out the window, that kind of stuff. I just ask everybody to be diligent because it's so very dry out there. There's creeks running dry that have not ever been dry. Up on the west end, we have wells going dry. So it's very dry. Just be very careful. And I think to add to your rodeo thing, I think that's Frontier Rodeo is what their Facebook page is. And if you're old like me, you can even enter if you want to qualify as a senior. So if you think about that. That's all I got.
Yeah, and that stage 2 is, of course, banning fireworks also in unincorporated Fremont County, which my dog Sadie will really appreciate.
Yeah.
Mr. Chair, I also have a couple of things, or a few, I would like to mention. First, thanks you, Sonny, for teeing up the brick dedication this Saturday. We have this amazing wall of amazing veterans that is located in our War Memorial Park out at the airport. 10 o'clock this Saturday, we're adding more names and to that wall to honor those folks from Fremont County who have served our country and served well. About 4 years ago, I had the opportunity to purchase a brick and put it up for my own father. So my dad's already out there. This Saturday, my son is going up on that wall. He's a veteran of the United States Marine Corps. And his other grandfather also is going to be on the wall as of this Saturday. So that wall, I can tell you personally, is not just for the veterans, it's for their families as well. So we would love to see you all come out. Next, I just wanted to say a quick congratulations to the Canyon City Chamber as well as to the Fremont Community Foundation. They put together another amazing whitewater celebration this past weekend. If you weren't there, you missed out. It was a lot of fun. Also this weekend, on Sunday, I had the opportunity to attend the dedication of a really beautiful sculpture at the New Child Montessori Preschool previous location where it was held at the church at the corner of 8th and Harrison for 40 years. And the statue is dedicated to Carol Ann Gentry and Judy Weinberg, who both taught there for so many years. They actually taught my own kids, all three of them, so many years ago. And it's a beautiful, beautiful piece of art. If you haven't had an opportunity to see it yet, I would urge you to stop by and take a look. And the other thing I wanted to mention is We had the opportunity here at the county to partner with the Fremont Center for the Arts in a children's summer mural program. And what that means is the back half of our garden park now has, or the back wall of our garden park building just across the street, half of it now has a mural up and finished and completed. It was done with all of the input from the kids who were in the program. They all had the opportunity to create some little imaginary friends, if you will. Some fanciful creatures have gone up on that wall to kind of point the relationship between being healthy and art in your life. So half of it's done now. The other half will be completed when the second week of the program is going to happen this July. So check it out if you haven't seen it yet. The kids have done a really great job.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And just a reminder, today is primary voting day, and that's, I've gone through it twice, and I never fared very well through it because I got a little bit crazy. Just a little.
Just a little.
Just a little. And I see our planning and zoning director did vote today. Good. Okay. All right, does anybody else have anything to add? Okay, we'll move on to citizens who wish to address the commissioners on matters not scheduled on the agenda. I see we have one from George Story. Good morning, George.
Good morning, George.
Good morning.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I just hope that everyone has a happy and safe 4th of July. That's Fremont County, Canyon City, and of course, the United States. And I hope everyone is real careful out there with all this construction going on. Be careful. And everyone have a good one. And thank you for letting me speak, and have a good one.
Thanks, George.
Thank you, George.
And by the way, I did vote.
Good job.
Okay, does anybody else have anything that's not on the agenda? Okay, we'll move on. We have no old business. First item on new business, unveiling of the new Fremont County website. I believe we have John and Lisa with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
So I'm very excited to announce that we are finally ready to launch our new website, and we plan to do that to go live this weekend. Our current website was developed, I think, around 2005, 2006 by students at Canyon City High School. They wrote it in standard HTML language, and I think they did a wonderful job. Last year, we decided to move forward with the website redesign. We wanted to develop it using a content management framework with newer and more secure technology. Once we decided on the platform, the task of developing the new website was given to John Grayson. So he presented a few themes for us and some ideas in a direction we could go. Once we had selected that, then he worked with the departments, and using current analytics, helped the departments kind of develop their new pages and the new content. John has put a lot of work into this, and I think he's done an outstanding job. I really love the new website design. I think it kind of rivals websites from larger counties in Colorado, and I hope everybody agrees. So with that, I'll go ahead and let John present our new website.
Thank you very much, Lisa. All right, so I present the new Fremont County website. So as Lisa said, the website's design has received a major overhaul. It's been pretty much completely rebuilt from the ground up. The design is more cohesive and modern, and it's got a more consistent color scheme. The front page now shows a banner that rotates through pictures from Fremont County, and we're going to be rotating those pictures in and out occasionally as we get photos that are relevant to the county. The main navigation has been reorganized to be simpler, easier to find what you're looking for. It's been organized into columns that are easier to read, easier to get, easier to use. We've got links to our county social media pages that are prominently displayed at the top of the page, and large buttons that show commonly visited pages on the county. And again, that's done through the analytics. We looked at which pages are actually the most used, and we've got these big buttons that are really easy to see, really easy to find, that go straight to those pages. The front page also shows notifications and news. So we've got the preview of the most recent article of the News Now blog, as well as notifications of county business, and major major notifications of county business, and then weather advisories and fire ban information. There is a new site search that is much more robust than the old one was. It is much more functional, much easier to find what you're looking for. And the site searches through both pages of the site and also old articles like the News Now articles. So they make it very easy for you to find things that you're looking for. And then, as Lisa was saying, we kind of used the analytics and discussed with the department heads and have reorganized most of the pages. We kind of tried to cut down on having a lot of different sub-pages and find ways to make things, make it so that the public, when using this website, will be able to find what they're looking for more easily. Any link that goes to a outside page of the website has been moved to its own external links box, like this one, which goes to the county YouTube page. And then contact information for individuals and for offices is also clearly displayed in the sidebar. And then, as with the redesign of the front page, the county pages have been kind of redesigned to make sections more easy to find and just kind of easier to read in general. There are some, as Lisa also mentioned, we've got a content management system built behind this now. So before, any changes that were made to the website had to go through IT. And whatever department was making any change had to come through us. There are certain things on the site that are now going to be able to be directly changed by employees who are given a login and permissions to be able to make specific changes to whatever specific part of the site that they are able to change. There are also certain aspects of the website that had to be done manually previously, but now can be automated. So things like, for example, job postings and notifications on the front page will automatically go down when they've passed the date that they're supposed to. And those two changes, but this content management system, these automated changes will help make sure that all the information on the site stays current. There's also this new directory page, which has contact information and hours for each individual office, which includes these contact buttons that take you to a form where a user can fill out their name and email address and a message, and it will be forwarded to the appropriate person or department.
Looks like that'll be a lot easier for folks to get a hold of us.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
other department heads and stuff.
It makes
Yeah.
it easier for people to find the right person that they're looking for and get into contact with them. One other major change is that on the employment opportunities page where we have job postings, there's now the option for people to apply directly on the website rather than printing out the forms, filling them out, and bringing them into the department. And it's difficult to display here, but there's also now a mobile version of the website as well. If the person accesses this on their mobile phone, they'll automatically see it's the same website, but things have been rearranged and resized to be more readable on a small screen. For example, the sidebars all get moved to the footer because sidebars don't really work too well on a mobile phone. All right, so that's the new
That's it?
website.
Awesome.
And
I know you put a lot of work into this, and sure appreciate it. And it looks like it's going to be a lot more user-friendly for folks when they access it.
I agree, John. I have to say, I love this new website. It is so clean, and it's a beautiful site and very user-friendly. I know you've taken a lot of time and effort to put into this, so I would just like to say thank you. I think everyone will find this a much, much easier site to use. So I'm really excited to get it up and running.
I agree. It looks a lot modern rather than the other one looks kind of archaic. So thanks for the work you put into it.
Thank you
Look
very
for
much.
it to go live this weekend. Hopefully we don't have any trouble, right?
Hope so.
No
Thanks
trouble.
very much.
Well, thank you all for the opportunity.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
You bet. Thank you. Okay, we'll move on to item number 2, adoption of the Community Wildfire Protection Plan for Chandler Heights subdivision. And with us is Jill Filer, our emergency management. Good morning.
Morning, Jill.
Morning.
So as you're aware, we worked with Chandler Heights to build a community wildfire protection plan for them. And for anyone that's not familiar with these, this is a wildfire protection plan that can help the community with things such as wildfire response, hazard mitigation, community preparedness training, equipment, and structure protection. And by having this plan in place, it allows Chandler Heights to now compete for grants to fund hazard mitigation projects surrounding wildfire. And I'm happy to report that they have completed the plan and signed off on it. So my recommendation today would be that Fremont County also signs off in support of their community wildfire protection plan.
Awesome. I know we have several of these around Fremont County. I've been involved with 2 or 3 myself, and I think the latest one was probably Dawson Ranch, CWPP, and it was, we got to the point where, we did get the grants, boots on the ground, and actually got work done. So there is light at the end of the tunnel on these things, and these are a win-win situation. So appreciate your work on that, and I know Commissioner Bell put a lot of work in on this one as well. Thank you.
Well, I was just going to make a note. No one worked harder than Jill on this particular plan. Chandler Heights, for some reason, we just had some issues. I think most of it was misunderstanding, a simple misunderstanding of what the purpose is and why we were bringing this to them. But I think in the end, they saw the light. I'm not sure how else to put it, and realized that this is actually a very good thing for them that the county is doing through a grant that we had received. So I just have to give a huge thank you to Jill for making this happen. This one has been in the works for quite some time, so I'm really happy that we finally got it done. So with that, Mr. Chair, I move to adopt the Community Wildfire Protection Plan for Chandler Heights subdivision and approve the signature of our chairman on the document.
I'll second that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion?
I think it should be important to note that there's a lot of areas in Fremont County you kind of touched on, but that might not have fire protection plan, and what it takes is a community like this to come together, reach out to Jill, get something in the works so that they also have the advantage of putting in for grants and stuff like that to help in those remote areas.
Okay. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Bell?
Aye.
Commissioner McFall?
Aye.
Commissioner Payne?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Jill.
Thanks, Jill.
We'll move on to item number 3. It's a liquor license transfer, Pester Marketing Company.
Peaster.
Pester. Sorry. I graduated high school. And I guess we have Gabriel Gardner with us?
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for having me again. It's always a pleasure. It's been a few months since I've seen you now, but we've been making a ton of progress. So with that being said, let me just review with you briefly our training process and the manner in which we stay in compliance with the beer and alcohol laws of the state of Colorado. Currently, we just currently set up at the location in Florence there our training program. It's a computer-based training program. Each new hire and all current employees that we've transitioned over with the new company are being currently run through the program. The program runs from 4 to 8 hours depending on the speed in which they complete the test, but is very informational, and it fills in any of the gaps left with common knowledge that we make sure our employees stay in compliance. As a company, we also signed up with a program, a third party, which is a BARS program it's called, and monthly they come out and test our compliance with our employees with mystery shops and so forth. In that program, as a company in a whole, with now 117 locations, we're well over 95% with our passing rate on that. Anybody that happens to fail has another opportunity and goes through an even further extensive program on computer-based training. If it were to happen more than one time, we handle the employee case-by-case basis. I'm happy to say that here in Canyon City, we've been doing a lot of growth. I'm sure you've seen the changes in branding and support that we've been given to the area. So, with that being said, if you have any questions for me, I know last time you guys wanted to know about the cost of fuel. So.
It's still on my mind.
I have nothing at this time.
Okay.
No.
Dottie, staff report?
Yep, everything's in order. This is the same as the other two. This one just took longer because they didn't purchase this location. They leased it, and they were just working out lease negotiations. So there's nothing different really from this one than the other two that we've already transferred. So everything is in order in our office.
Okay.
And this is the one out by the Quality Inn, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. No further questions?
Mr. Chair, I'll entertain a motion to approve liquor license transfer to Pester Marketing, doing business as Alta Convenience, 6326.
You'll entertain a motion or make the motion?
I'll make the motion.
Okay.
Sorry.
And I will second that motion.
Okay.
You should entertain that, right?
I should be the one entertaining. Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner McFall?
Aye.
Commissioner Bell?
Aye.
Commissioner Payne?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, thank you very much.
I also just wanted to know, thank you very much for all the support in terms of giving us some ample opportunity to get involved in a positive way with the community. We've been following that. I know that was an issue last time. So
Wonderful. Yes.
Thank you for what you're doing. It
Thank you
is
so
pretty
much.
noticeable out there, what you're doing. Appreciate that.
Thanks.
Okay, thank you. We'll move on to item number 4, a resolution authorizing assignment of a private activity bond allocation for the 2018 allocation year to the Housing Authority of the City of Fort Collins. And we'll turn to Sunny Bryant.
So each year, the county is allocated private activity bonds, and the intention is they're bonds available for different housing projects. So what we do is we look at anything that the county has, and if there's nothing, we reach out to the Council of Governments, to their housing division, and see if they have any projects that they could use. And if not, then if individuals approach us from outside of the community, we actually can sign over our bonds to other individuals. So we've done this the last couple of years. So last year we had a group contact us, and they used it for a housing up in, and actually he's here. So I'll ask Patrick Stoffregan to come up, and he can explain kind of what their project is that they're working on this year, and why they're asking us to assign our bonds over to their company.
Okay, good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Sonny. My name is Patrick Stoffregan. I'm the developer with Pedcore Companies, working on 2 housing projects in Colorado currently. One is called Lakeview on the Rise in Fort Collins, and the other one is called Lark Ridge Apartments, and that's in Thornton. These are actually the same 2 projects we were working on last year. We are now approximately, knock on wood, 60 days from closing and starting construction on these projects. In between the end of last year, when we received bond cap from Fremont County and other jurisdictions for both these projects, in between then and now, we've gotten true construction numbers back, and the cost of building these types of apartment units has increased significantly, which gives us the opportunity to increase our loan and our indebtedness to match that cost. And with that increased loan amount, we seek out additional private activity bond cap to match it, to make the loan tax exempt. And these types of affordable housing projects, they are affordable housing, and that is through the low-income housing tax credit program. I'll try not to bore you to sleep. But that's administered in Colorado from the Colorado Housing and Finance Agency. Both of these projects utilize insurance on the mortgage from HUD, the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. So there's a lot of eyes on these projects to ensure that they are of the top quality. Pedcore, as a developer, is partnering in Fort Collins with the local housing authority, which they call themselves Housing Catalyst now. And also in our Thornton development, we're partnering with the Adams County Housing Authority, and they're changing their name to Unison Housing Partners. So in both cases, we've got a nice partnership going on with local folks to ensure that the flavor of what Colorado wants to see in this type of housing is addressed and delivered by us when we develop. So I take any questions that you might have, or give you more information about the project associated with number 4 at this time, if you're curious.
Any questions? I'm good.
How many units are you looking at?
So for Lakeview on the Rise in Fort Collins, it's 180 apartment units in one community. They're all affordable for households that make 60% or less of the area median income. So, and they're all at that same level. In Thornton, for number 5, that's 338 affordable housing units, and they're all also affordable for 60% AMI households. That level is different in each area because the AMI is slightly different, but for the most part, it's it's single moms, it's teachers, nurses, police officers, firefighters, and folks that are just out of college and starting up and trying to save up for that first home. So,
Okay, thank you very much.
thank you.
All right, Mr. Chair, those sound like some pretty worthy projects to me. And understanding that Fremont County is not missing out on any money otherwise that we would have received for any reason. And it's also not costing the county anything. I move to approve Resolution 21, authorizing the assignment of private activity bond allocation for this allocation year to the Housing Authority of the City of Fort Collins, doing business as the Housing Catalyst. And I believe this one is in the amount of $1,499,546.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Bell?
Aye.
Commissioner McFall?
Aye.
Commissioner Payne?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay,
Yeah, the other one.
Number 5's
you bet.
Yeah, number
he's
5.
still here for 5.
What's that?
He's already talked about 5.
Number 5.
So,
Okay, so go ahead and do number 5.
yes.
All right, so let's go ahead and do number 5. So basically the same thing with County of Adams, but it's the same but different. Yeah, that's a Bojan. Quote, so.
So with this one being the same or different, Mr. Chair, I move to approve resolution number 22, authorizing the assignment of the private activity bond allocation for 2018 to the Housing Authority of the County of Adams, State of Colorado. And I believe that one is also $1,499,000.
No,
It's not.
this is $993,522.
Okay.
Okay,
I'm on
got
the
that
wrong one.
clarification.
All right. I second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner McFall?
Aye.
Commissioner Bell?
Aye.
Commissioner Payne?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman,
Thank
I wanted
you.
to add that my dog is also named Sadie, and she's also a terrified. But after you vote, so it can Thank you very much.
Thank you. Hours reached 10 o'clock. We have 3 public hearings to go through. We'll go with number 1. It's a request for a conditional use permit, 18001, for gravel pit on State Highway 69. We have Tony Adamic with us this morning. Good morning, sir.
Morning, Tony.
Morning.
This is for permit for a new gravel pit that's going to service the southwest end of Fremont County, the gravel roads up there. We have 2 pits right now that are basically replenished. That's the Quagmire pit that's on County Road 12, and then also the Howard Creek pit up on County Road 4. This is going to be a 110 permit, which it's classified as less than 10 acres in size. The length or the time frame of the mine, it's life of the mine, but we're estimating it to be 15 years in length. And that's producing at the most 10,000 ton a year. I doubt we'll ever see 10,000 ton, but that's what the maximum is. There will be no blasting that will be going during the operation. It's going to be a screening and or crushing operation by the contractor committee to crush if we have budget enough to do that. We have the permits in place through the state and then the Division of Mine Land Reclamation in that, and then also the state highway access permit. Everything's okay with it. All the permitting in place.
Okay. You have a staff report, Matt?
All righty. All the publications were made, the notifications were made, and the property was posted with a sign referencing this meeting. The property is zoned agricultural forestry. It's approximately 9 acres. As Mr. Dimick did say, they have gone through all the state approvals. They do have all the state permits and licenses in place. The Planning Commission did review this and approve this on June 5th. They did approve it, recommending approval unanimously. As far as the conditions, it says for the life of use, the hours of operation will be from 6 a.m. to 4:30 p.m., Monday through Thursday. And only Fremont County will be using this pit. This isn't a commercial pit. They will not be selling anything out of it or anything of that nature. So this is just for county use.
Okay.
After review, we do find this application meets all the regulations as per Fremont County, and we do recommend approval of it.
Okay, thank you very much. Do you have any questions for Tony?
I have a couple of questions for Matt.
Okay, Matt's good too.
Okay. So understanding that this permit is being sought by another department of the county, they still have been treated like any other applicant, correct? They've had to go through the entire process, fill out the same paperwork, do everything exactly the same that anyone else would have had to have done?
Yes.
Okay. Also, under waiver requests, I see that you're asking or considering a waiver of a parking plan. Is that pretty typical for a gravel pit?
It is. Most gravel pits don't have designated areas. They move around within the site and park close to where they are operating at that time. So, you know, a parking plan typically is hard to designate. So.
Okay, and the other question that I have is under condition L. If a conditional use is abandoned, discontinued, or terminated for a period of 6 months, my question is, this is going to be used from August through December, which means 7 months out of each year there will be no use. Does that mean that it's been abandoned for 7 months? How does the wording for this work out?
No, continuing on there, it talks about temporarily ceasing just, for time, a certain time frame is approved through this approval. And so if they're designating they'll be seasonal or something like that, that's part of the approval. And so it's not a termination of the use.
So we're okay with this one?
Yes.
All right.
So it'll be a temporary cessation?
It won't be looked at as a cessation. It'll just be they won't be using it.
Just won't be
it'll
using
be a
it.
seasonal
Okay.
use.
All right.
But that's already understood, and that's part of the conditions.
Right.
Okay. All right, that's all I have for now.
Okay.
Thank you.
Debbie, on that part there also with that time frame of use, that was also set by BLM, who's the owner of the land, and it's to deal with all the nature and stuff like that, which the
Oh, good. Okay, thank you for that, Tony. I didn't understand that, so thanks.
Okay, this is a public hearing, so I will open the public hearing. Does anybody have any comments, questions on this from the public? I don't see a big rush on this, so I will close the public hearing. Okay. Any other questions or comments to Tony or Matt?
No, I do have one comment, though. I drove by that location actually yesterday, and you won't even notice it's there except if you see a truck coming out because it is hidden. So, yeah, so it's a great location.
Okay.
With that, Mr. Chair, I have a motion.
Okay, I will entertain a motion.
I move to approve CUP 18-001 for the State Highway 69 gravel pit with the conditions of approval as explained, A through Q, as well as waiver requests for landscaping and buffering, lighting, hard surfacing, and parking.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Bell?
Aye.
Commissioner McFall?
Aye.
Commissioner Payne?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks,
Thank you, Tony.
We'll move on to our second public hearing. This is a commercial development plan for George Clark Auto. And I believe we have Dr. Bellantoni with us this morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
8-minute public hearing. I'm trying. I'm on it.
You can only dream of an 8-minute public hearing. Yours seem to be a little bit more complicated, typically. Typically. Maybe not today.
Okay, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This morning I am here to represent Mr. George Clark and his wife Gail, who is not with us today. And Mr. Clark and his wife are retiring to Fremont County. They found a building in Penrose, the subject property, that fits their needs. And I'm before you today for a commercial development plan. This building was constructed in 1996. It's been offices and churches and stay offices for Mr. Clark. He is retired in the wrecking business, and he is also a retired attorney. So as he retires, he likes to take on a project or two, and he will have the office space to do that. In addition, Mr. Clark is the caregiver to his wife, who is a stroke victim. He particularly likes this building for two reasons. One, ramps. There are two handicap ramps already to two doors. So it's accessible to her, and she can get out and about also outside of that concrete parking lot to get out and about. And number two is inside, the doorways are 3 feet wide and the hallways are 4 foot wide.
Oh, wow.
Which is just perfect for him and his wife. Also, Mr. Clark likes to has a hobby of auto repair. He likes to repair cars. He proposes a shop just for him, something to occupy his spare time. It's just a single bay. The door will be to the north on the shop. That's 30 by 40 right there. And of course, I don't think his wife would be happy if he saved everything to be repaired. So once he has it repaired, he's proposing that he will either park repaired cars. That concrete parking lot is tremendous parking area. We'll either put it on parking area, or he may gravel that where it says gravel retail inventory parking area. That's just a nice space to the front. But he will sell it, make it available.
So happy wife, happy life. Correct? Okay.
Usually works that way.
But this is a hobby for him for his spare time. And no floor drains and all that sort of thing. And Mr. Clark also is aware of the regulations for sale of vehicles. And so in the event he gets lucky and sells 3 cars, he knows that he has to have a license. So he'll go through that process and get that license just in case that happens. But that's not a goal. It's just a hobby for him to take up some spare time. So the office space then allows him to have a place to order parts, have a place to sell a car, have a place to, if a friend comes or somebody asks him for some legal advice, he can go do that in that office space. And that is all I have.
Okay.
And again, 4 minutes. I got 4 to go.
Good job.
She's even timing herself. All right. Staff report, Matt.
Alrighty, all publications, signage, and notifications were made. The property is zoned business. It's approximately 2 acres. Let's see here. It did go before the Planning Commission on June 5th. It did receive a unanimous approval and recommendation for approval to the BOCC. The contingency item would be compliance with requirements as stated in the letter from the Fremont County Department of Transportation dated April 16, 2018, which is primarily just a driveway access permit, which I believe you've taken care of. The only waiver requests they're requesting is the landscaping of the parking area. Typically, that's to break up large parking expanses, so that it's a small parking lot. So we did find that this application does meet the requirements of the regulations and zoning, and we do recommend approval of it.
Okay. Any questions for Matt or
I
Dr. Bell?
just have one question. Does this address fluids that'll possibly be in those cars that you're restoring?
There's no drains. He's just going to contain everything and recycle.
Okay.
What I utilize is,
We-
I've been in the business, best management practices is kind of what you follow.
Right.
Yes. Come on up.
It would it'd be very minimal, because I'm not operating, I don't intend to operate, the operation or anything. But, fluids would be dealt with in tank, and then they would be off-site, removal, everything like that. And I'm familiar with that process really well.
Okay.
Should be no fluid issues at all.
All right, thank you. Any other questions?
I have nothing.
This is a public hearing. I will open the public hearing. Is there any questions or comments for either Matt or Dr. Bellantoni? Seeing none, I will close the public hearing. Okay. Any other questions or comments? Or entertain a motion?
Yeah, Mr. Chair, I have no more comments. I would have a motion to approve the commercial development plan, CDP 18-002 for George Clark Auto, which is located south side of 3rd Street and 115 in Penrose.
Does that motion include the
That
contingency
includes the
item as well as
contingency
the
item.
waiver
Yeah,
request?
the contingency item, which was the driveway access permit and the waiver request for the parking landscaping.
Okay.
Then I'll second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner McFall?
Aye.
Commissioner Bell?
Aye.
Commissioner Payne?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
We do need a resolution number on that.
We do? Okay.
And
23.
did we get one for the CUP as well?
Okay, so then 23 on the CUP and 24 on the CDP.
Thank you.
Congratulations on your retirement and good luck.
Yes.
Thank you.
So the CUP is 30, 23.
23.
23.
23.
And then 24.
Yeah.
CDP 24.
Okay. All right. We'll move on to item number 3 on our public hearings. It's a request for a special review use for Whitehorn Kennels. I believe we have Allison Brown with us. Is that right? Okay. If anybody does want to speak on this, please fill out a slip. Hand it to our county manager. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I know our client is supposed to be. I haven't done this before, so should I just explain to you what I'm doing? And I know there's a lot of input you've been getting. Do you want me to address that now or after?
Okay, you'll have to speak up a little bit, especially for the television, so.
I'm sorry.
All right.
No, my question was whether you also wanted me to address some of the input that you did.
Yeah, just kind of give a general overview and answer to those things.
Okay, thank you. All right, well, this is an application for a kennel in the Whitehorn area. It's agricultural forestry area. There's 3 of us basically living up there right now. I have a conditional offer on the property at 2366. Whitehorn and also this particular property here, which is adjacent to it. The 2366 is owned by Ray and Linda Lennox, and they're here today. I'd like to purchase that. I also have an offer with Eric Fisher who owns this particular property. But the offers are conditional on receiving permission and permit from Fremont County for a kennel application. This is a very remote area. It's I'm familiar with this area because I have another friend who lives up here. And I'm a horse rider. I engage in the sport of fox hunting. I don't know how many of you are familiar with that, but I brought this little pamphlet here for that. Fox hunting is a very ancient sport. It goes back right to the founding fathers in America. George Washington, in fact, was a passionate fox hunter. Despite its name, we don't actually hunt foxes. The hounds are called foxhounds. In fact, my hounds are American foxhounds, which came from kennels in Virginia, which are part of the Master Foxhounds Association. And they maintain a pedigree for these hounds that goes all the way back, in fact, to George Washington's time. My hounds are actually descended. He was the creator of the American foxhound breed. What we do as a sport is we go out as a group. We hunt in either public lands, or we also have permission on some local ranches to hunt. One of the local reason I'm familiar with this Whitehorn area is I drove past it a lot in last year when I was hunting on the Stirrup Ranch, which is right along. This is a picture of us on the Stirrup Ranch. Stirrup Ranch is located further down County Road 2. It's a large area. With the permission of the landowner there, it's also adjacent to state trust land. The state trust land we have permission to hunt on all of the things out for wildlife-related activities for a period of time. And so we have been conducting hunts there. We've also hunt on public land and Forest Service. A hunt under a permit from the Forest Service, which, excuse me, I brought a copy of that too. And the Forest Service permit basically specifically designates where we can hunt. And on public land, it also has restrictions of when we can hunt. The Forest Service manages basically access to their public lands for hunting. It's obviously it's a multi-use land. Currently, we have permission to hunt on the land in that map. Before we do any hunting on Forest Service land around the Whitehorn area, we have to go through the review process with the Forest Service, where they will give them a map and we say these are the public lands that we want to hunt on, and they conflict with any other uses and either approve us or deny us to use that particular land. There is land that we're currently exploring with ATVs and stuff, which looks attractive for hunting, but we haven't actually identified any areas yet in public land that we would use for hunting around Whitehorn. Before, as I said, before we started hunting in the fall, which is when our season starts, we would conflict with them. You'll notice also that there's a restriction in that permit where we're not allowed to use Forest Service land for hunting during first, second, third, and fourth rifle season. In that time, we rely on a good relationship with landowners such as the Stewart Ranch and use property like that. I also have permission from the Kogan Ranch, which is adjacent to state land called Mountain Park in Chaffee County, and we use that land as well during the rifle season. We're a social group. If you look at the list of fox hunts, they're all over the United States. We're strictly regulated by the National Fox Hunts Association. They have a very strict code of conduct to ensure that basically our sport doesn't get a bad name. Moving on to some of the comments that we've got. This is the last one I saw, which came in today from Ken Murray and Nathan. First of all, a little bit of background. That comment said that I've been denied approval of a kennel permit in Chaffee County. That's actually not a correct statement. When I moved to Chaffee County, the land use code permitted stables in those areas, around stables and equestrian center, horses there. And it also only required a kennel permit for kennels that were used for boarding or raising or breeding dogs for sale. I don't do any of those. I've never done anything like that. These are my kennels. I'm registered with the Department of Agriculture. I have a license because I have more than 15 dogs in the facility. They expect me. They put me in the country actually as a sanctuary because nearly all of my hounds are adopted, and some of them, we use them to start learning the sport. Relatively new novice huntsmen, and my old hounds kind of taught me a lot, and I give them a home for life. So, excuse me. So anyway, a couple of years ago, some neighbors moved next to me, and started complaining about the noise. They apparently had a lot of evidence in Chaffee County because Chaffee County changed their land use code. They now have a new definition of kennel that says that you have to get a kennel permit if you have more than 7 dogs on your property. Because my neighbors also started a very vicious and untrue petition online that garnered 77,000 signatures asking Chaffee County to ban fox hunting. As a result of that, I had significant harassment to the extent of direct threats. And in 2 weeks, I'm hoping at least I'll get some resolution with the nightmare I've been going through, where I'll be in civil court, and that will resolve the question of the noise complaint. I have data that will be produced at the court that shows that the hounds are not exceeding any of the state defined noise levels. And as I said, the court will decide on that issue and also on the defamation issue that I've been facing. However, I still continue to get input, and I notice that you've also been receiving input from people who've been involved with that suit and the defamation, making statements which quite frankly are untrue. So related to the complaint from Cameron Murray, I was not denied approval of California. Given the question on the noise, given the fact that the civil litigation will address the noises, my intent was to wait until I had gone through the civil litigation. The court had decided the question of reasons before I could put that question in front of the planning commission. I fully intend to go through the new process with Chaffey County. I had taken steps to reduce the number of dogs on the property to 7 as to be in compliance with the code. And I had put I placed dogs virtually a number of friends had agreed to take some of the dogs and have done that. The White Barn location is ideal for my hounds. It's much cooler up there in the summer in the valley. It's just been getting hotter and hotter for them. I have a good facility, water tanks and so forth up. But this particular property, they love it. I mean, it's a great place. You'll hear from my neighbors who live up there with me, and they'll tell you themselves about noise or any other issues. One only landowner or neighbor that isn't here today, I believe, is Nick Christian Talley. Originally, the smaller piece on the left there, kind of a pie shape, that knows what I'm talking about, is the 2366 property. Nick's is to the west of me. And when my original plans put kennels right in front of the house there, which is a manufactured home. Nick objected to that, and so we met, and what we did is he agreed to moved it over into this area here that had less visual impact. So I went back and I resubmitted the application, with the planning department because it was a different address. I'll own both properties. So that's my intent, and that's what I've done already to try and address any concerns, and I'll continue to try and address any concerns of my neighbors. So next, I'd like to just talk a little bit about some of the issues that have been raised regarding towns and agricultural land, in particular cattle grazing. There's been I know you've received a number of complaints basically stating that hounds are a threat to livestock. This, quite frankly, is just not true. My dogs are, well, first of all, they're bred. I'm not familiar with dogs, but dogs have an amazing genetic memory. They're born knowing their job. It's like a sheepdog, because I've never heard of sheep. So my dogs have been bred for generations to hunt in farming agricultural land. Fox hunting is something that was traditionally done in farms, to keep predators off the farms. In the East Coast, it was foxes. And routinely, you go into hunts even today, and you'll see riders riding right through herds of cattle on the East Coast because they'll hunt in pretty dense areas. You'll see the dogs running through, hot on the trail, those areas that hunt foxes. And the dogs pay absolutely zero attention to the cattle. And quite frankly, it's bred into them. They're bred to know, their hunting bred is specific to specific prey. We train them to that. So my hounds are trained to hunt coyote, and they're also trained to hunt jackrabbit. And that's the only two legitimate quarry that they're allowed to hunt. Cattle, absolute no. Deer, antelope, anything, absolute no. And quite, I take that extremely seriously because I know the lives. If my hounds were harassing livestock or they were harassing wildlife, they can be shot on sight. So whenever they go out, they wear collars, training collars. They're tracking the training collars. They know where they are all the time. And that's hounds start getting lost, and they're right back with me. So anyway, I believe Mrs. Everett is probably here today. I haven't actually met her in person. I have talked many times before to both Brady Everett and Casey Everett. I talked to both of them before I even made an offer on the Whitehorn property. It wasn't until I got an email from Mrs. Everett that was forwarded that I knew that there was any issue with me being adjacent to their grazing land. So, some of my other neighbors, they've been around longer and they'll explain the situation with the cattle and so forth up here. But I wanted to share this with you. This is the property I currently own down in Chaffee County. It's on the end of Antelope Road. And this is a map. It's a little hard to see, but these two lots here are the lots I own. I own 80 acres. This is Brady Everett's land here. This is Mrs. Everett's land here. They also have grazing. I granted Brady a grazing lease on my land here. My neighbor over here has a grazing lease that they granted to Casey Everett. This is all BLM land. This part of the BLM land, Casey Everett grazes cattle. This part of the BLM land, Brady Everett grazes cattle. I also have granted Brady Everett an easement to drive his cattle actually right through my property here to get home to the BLM land.
And this is in Chaffee County.
This is in Chaffee County. So up until now, for the last 4 years, my hounds have been living in Chaffee County in kennels there, surrounded by Everett land and Everett cattle. And I ride them out routinely on this land. You'll hear from friends of mine who are here today who do this all the time. We see the cattle are there, they're wandering around in Silken Range out there, and there has not been a single incident, not one incident, of them causing any issue with the cattle.
Can we get you back to the microphone, please?
Sorry.
Thank you.
Sure. So anyway, I appreciate you letting me talk so long. I'd be happy to answer any other questions that you might have.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure.
Any questions for right now?
Yeah, I've got a couple of questions,
Okay.
or this may be more of a comment than a question. Your dogs are trained to hunt coyotes and rabbits, you say, and genetics go back. I've been around hunting dogs all of my life, which are trained to hunt birds. They will deviate from birds and chase rabbits once in a while. It does happen, even though their genetics and their training are there. So I see no reason why a foxhound couldn't deviate from their training and their genetics and chase after a deer or a cow. So that possibility is out there.
Can I address that?
Sure.
Yes. That's why whenever they go out there with training collars, if you look at that picture of me on Stewart Ranch, I never let my hounds run loose without training collars, so I have positive control with them the whole time. And if they do deviate from their training, I use those collars, and I can tell you those are incredibly effective.
So if there's a complaint on that, does it go to your department or does it go to the Department of Agriculture?
It should come to our department, and we'll review it per their licensing and approvals.
So I have a question on the hunt. What do they do when they find a coyote or a jackrabbit, the dogs?
They pursue it. It was a signal that I actually used to them to reinforce the fact that they're hunting, to encourage them to go along to that trip. If they are in an area where they could cause a hazard, like they're near a road or something or near a rocky boundary, I actually will call them back. So they're trained to either be reinforced in pursuit or to call them back. And the reason I ride with the group is, you can hear from some of the other people that ride with me, what they will do is they'll gallop like banshees if we're at an edge of a property, and they will cut hands off and ride the trail that they're following, and we carry whips that allow us to basically move the hands back in the direction so that their shoulder's in. And they will, we always go out as a group, and that's why I'm the anchor. The hounds are to come back to me, and I have some brilliant riders with me that just gallop like the blazes, which is part of the fun of the sport. And if the hounds are to come back, and they basically will come home. And plus I'm calling them back with the horn and the collars. If they're on a legitimate trail, they're going to follow. Now we follow the Department of Wildlife regulations. They have specific regulations for hunting predators with trail
Colorado, they don't hunt bears with dogs.
Actually, you can.
You can still?
Yeah, you can.
Hmm.
But all you can do when you hunt with a dog in Colorado is you can use the dog basically as a trailing animal to trail the predator and bring the predator to bay. They're not to be used for killing coyotes, mountain lions, bears. That's not their job. So if mountain lion hunters, what they'll do is they'll use the dogs to treat the mountain lion when they come to shoot. And the same thing with the bear. With the coyotes, what will happen with me is my hounds on the successful run will usually put the coyote to ground. The coyote will go back to his den and will go into his den. And at that point, the hounds, they basically, they're very excited, they mill around the den, and when we catch up with them, they get rewarded with a lot of praise for the best hounds in the world, they're very clever. And what they tend to do is, we don't kill the coyotes. We are obliged to kill them if any of them are injured or cornered. And I'm required to kill them. That's the requirement for the hunting license. I carry a firearm to do that. If that is the case, it's actually not happened so far on the hunt. So the end of the hunt is the hounds, they'll mark the territory very heavily. They pee all over. And what we've been told by people down Villa Grove, there was a coyote pack that was very aggressive. There were people that had a small dog and a cat and were worried they were going to lose it. And they came out once when we were in a after a picnic and thanked me for coming back because they said last year, after the houses, they found the deaths on the top of the hillside there, marked it off, and they said that coyote pack just picked up and fell way back into National Forest. And I provided information to Matt that is from the Department of Agriculture. They put out a report just I think in January this year. It was fairly recent, where they collected a lot of data on effective methods of predator control in Colorado, and they talked about the threats of predators, particularly in rangeland and to livestock. And one of the methods that they, among others, that they said was very effective was they called it hazing with dogs. So in other words, using trailing dogs to haze the coyotes, to drive them back, in particular to have them move their dens back from populated areas. That report discusses that and its effectiveness.
How many dogs go out at a time on a hunt?
On a hunt, I'll usually take maybe 12 dogs.
Okay. Any other questions?
I have a quick question. We have received some complaints about the noise that your animals would be making. I don't know the answer to this, so I need to ask it. Do your dogs do a basic bark? Do they bay? Do they howl? What kind of a noise is it that they actually make?
It's kind of all of the above. When they're being fed, they get quite excited and they'll actually bark. When they're hunting, they actually have more of a day. And, I've been living up there. People who like the hounds, some people like the noise they make, some people don't.
Mm-hmm.
They'll wake me up in the morning because I'm right in the house right next to them, and they'll do it during chorus, kind of like the birds, and they're literally singing to each other. It's quite musical. You often hear referred to as the music of the hounds. So, but they don't do that all of the time at all. And as I said, my neighbors who live next to me are here today, so you'll be able to hear from them in fact.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
One other quick question is, I've seen a couple of things, and I would just like clarification as to, would you be housing the dogs here year-round?
That's not currently my intent. I have to go through the permitting process with Chief County. As I said, that's been delayed because I really wanted to get the civil litigation out of the way. I didn't think it was appropriate for the planning commission to be put in a position of judging a nuisance complaint that's going to be decided as part of the civil litigation. That's going to happen in just a couple of weeks. So if my neighbors win, obviously I'm not going to be moving my house back there. I'll have to find another summer location for me. If I win, then obviously I've proven then through the courts that they're not a nuisance, that their noise they're making is within the required residential noise standards that the state and Canada require. So if I have my wish, I'll win my court case. I'll show, I have measurements that we'll be presenting in court and so forth that make that case. then I'll go ahead and apply for a permit in Chaffey County, and I hope that that will be granted before winter sets in.
So your dogs will go to Chaffey County in the winter if it goes towards plan for you? Okay, that's where they go in the winter.
That was my intent. Chaffey gets kind of hot in the summer, and right now, Whitehorn is lovely because it's about 10, 15 degrees cooler up there. And the hounds love it. And plus, rather than us trailing our horses up riding in the national forest there, which we used to do a lot, with the hounds, again, never caused any problems. What we can do now is, people come up and join me and we'll take the horses out. Sometimes we'll trail them just a short distance and take the hounds out and take them back and put them in the kennels.
Okay, thank you.
I got a question on that noise levels that you said that the dogs didn't break any of the state required noise levels. Was that noise constant? Is that what the complaint is?
No, the noise is not constant. At times, basically, it's like anything. You have somebody coming up to the ranch, they're going to bark. Sometimes they'll call each other names and they'll bark at each other. That's normal behavior too. They get terribly excited if I'm taking any of them out hunting or running, and they'll make noise there. They're all like calling to me, saying, "Take me, take me." They all want to go out. At feeding time, again, they'll make noise, but it's not constant.
How many dogs do you currently have and where are they?
Let's see, I've got 4 head of friends. I've got 2 down at Chaffey County right now, and then there's 20 of them I'd like them. And if I don't get my permit, I'll move them to the
Can you talk a little bit about the training collar itself, the ones that you use? What is the radius? How often do the dogs wear them? Do they wear them 24/7, just when you have them out for a hunt?
Every time I've taken out of the kennels and that was, they were in a training collar. I understand everyone has a leash law, and this is not a leash, if you like. And as I said, I've gone through this before, so they're comfortable, with the active control I have. So a normal regimen when I'm taking the hounds out to exercise things, they're each in their individual pens. They live in little family groups, so there's 5 to 7 of them in a pen. They have a large kennel and a couple of other spaces so they can kind of pick and choose, who sits with who and so forth. So I lay out a pen of hounds. I have like a staging area that's also fenced, and I'll put collars on the hounds that I'm going to let out. Turn them on, I have a controller where my belt. It gives me a map that shows me where the hounds are each time. It also gives me a distance and a direction for any hound. And then there's a button I can push that can stimulate any collar. So anytime the hounds are out of their pens, and other than feeding will just keep them to the staging area. If they're let out of the staging area so they can run around, so they can take them for a walk or whatever, they're wearing those collars. The collars are made by a company called Garmin, and there are GPS chips in them, so they're using GPS tracking for the location. It's got a radio that has about a 2-mile radius on it, as I said, the radio basically tells me where they are and allows me to track them fast.
Okay, thank you.
I don't do that very often. That's not. It's there.
Okay.
Can you describe how you're handling the dog waste?
Oh, certainly. I have a system that was designed by the University of Fairbanks in Alaska. They contracted with the university to do a research study on methods for disposing of dog waste for sled dogs. And the university came up with a method for composting dog waste, which is, it's not like horse manure or cattle manure, you can just pile it up in a pile and it will self-compost. But what they discovered was that if you mix it with an equal quantity of sawdust to give it the additional fiber, and you also put moisture into it, and it will actually compost just like horse manure would. So I provided the county with a copy of that report. I've been inspected by the state. It's one of the things PACFA checks for is how you're disposing of dog waste or if you use clean, the care of the hounds. And I've already gone through that inspection in Chaffey, and they've approved that method on disposing of dog waste.
Is this a business that you make money on?
lot of that's to do with I'm required to carry insurance. And Masters Fox Sounds Association, has companies we work with, so I register as an LLC, I get insurance for my business. My insurance also includes liability for landowners, if they let me ride on their land, they're covered by that insurance too. So,
Well, in your application, under item 28, item X, you state that Master Foxhouse Association promotes fox hunting, and having kennels located in Fremont will promote tourism through visitors who wish to ride with the hounds on National Forest land. But then on the June 5th Planning Commission meeting, you state that this is a personal hobby, which you just said just now. So it seems like those two contradict each other.
they don't actually contradict each other, and Peter Parker is here, can also elaborate on this. I gave you that book that has a list of all of the fox hunts in America. What we do on vacations as fox hunters is we go visit other fox hunts. Like I was just visiting France, just on vacation in May, and I moved to Marleston and I visited a fox hunt in France.
So it's other folks like you that come in. Okay.
So basically, it all depends on if the Forest Service grant me access to Forest Service land and what the hunt country's like and so forth. But I mean, let's say my best hunt country ends up being in Fremont County. I'll actually move the business address that's listed there. I'll advertise on Fremont rather than Chafee, which is what I'm currently saying. And they have a map. If you go to the Mustard Fox Sounds Association website, they have a map and they put, bullets where every single hunt is in Colorado. And I know one of the concerns was, are we going to negatively affect outfitting businesses in the area? I have no idea why that would be the case. I mean, a lot of fox hunters do other kind of hunting too. They're avid bird hunters, or they're avid deer hunters, or whatever. So if somebody's going to come visit me because they see pictures of the beautiful country that I ride in, and they hear from other people and friends, about what we're doing, they're very likely going to make the trip over and go look at other things, and possibly even go, out with an outfitter to hunt other game as well.
Okay.
So you don't have permission right now to hunt in San Isabel, is that what you're saying?
I do, but not in Fremont County.
But not in Fremont County.
What I have to do to get, I have a permit. The nearest land that I've got permission to hunt on right now is Longs Gulch, which is in Chafee, and in Bissam Park. Okay, so I preferably have, I need the right kind of country if it's fences or if it's badger holes or, we're still exploring the area. And what I have to do before I can actually hunt on any of the Forest Service land that's around Whitehorn is I have to renew my permit, which comes up later this year, and I have to put in a revised map and show the Forest Service the areas that I would want to hunt in, and then they'll tell me I can or I can't use them.
Okay. Let's go with the staff report, Matt.
Alrighty. First off, on the screen, I do have our GIS. The property that's under review at this time is located right by the green square county road marker, and it's this property here as well as this property back in here. The kennels will be falling out in these trees right back in the back in this area. The screwiness here is their mining claims, and that's why they look so screwy. So they're not aliquot portions or anything like that. That being said, the notifications were made, the publications, and the sign posting was made on the property. The property is zoned agricultural forestry. It's approximately 21 acres, both parcels. And as she did say that she started this with originally the smaller parcel, and then decided to add the larger parcel in behind after discussion with the neighbors out there. So we did go through Planning Commission twice, and both times they did recommend approval for this. As far as the contingency items, there's one contingency item, and that is requirements of the deeds or lease allowing the use of the properties for this. They are requesting waivers. The waivers are the parking area landscaping, the lighting plan, the hard surfacing, and a waiver of the required engineer stormwater report was requested. It was reviewed by our county engineer and approved. That would not be a requirement. And the additional notifications were made to the Colorado Division of Wildlife, the Fremont Historical Society, the Fremont County Sheriff, BLM, and the Fremont County Heritage Commission. We did review this and found that the application does meet all the requirements as per our regulations, and we do recommend approval.
Okay.
I have a question for Matt.
Okay.
Under conditions, item J says documentation from the Environmental Health Office as to compliance with the requirements is noted in the memo dated January 10th of 2011.
I'll have to double check that date. I believe that date is incorrect. So I will check that.
I was very confused when I saw that. So you would imagine it's 2018?
Probably, yes.
Can I ask why Fremont County cattlemen weren't notified?
They're not usually one of our agencies that we notify. We notify usually typical agencies and such. And just a note that this will come up for an annual review. Our code enforcement will visit the site, make sure that they are abiding by all their approvals, and if anything is found to not be compliant, it will be brought to the board for review. So this will be an annual thing.
Okay, they will visit the site.
Yes.
And I understand the Department of Agriculture will also visit the site once a year.
That's correct.
Okay. I actually talked to him yesterday.
Oh, thank you. Good. And then fishing was very well.
Okay. Any other questions? Move on. Okay, this is a public hearing, so I will open the public hearing. We have several people who'd like to speak. First up, I have Katie Parker.
Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Katie. I live at 24191 Fremont County Road 12. So that's at 2 and 12. We've been landowners there. We founded it at 3 enclosed on our floor. I'm also from Florida. I'm also a master of foxhounds for South Creek Foxhounds. So that is my hunt club in Florida. So I can help you understand if you're not sure about what is fox hunting or what is a fox hunt club. It's kind of like following a golf game if you're going to a Masters tournament. That the field are the other riders. Allison is the active hunter. Everyone else is the audience. And so in a golf game, in a tournament, the whole gallery comes with through the course. And in fox hunting, the gallery of riders comes with through nature. What is wonderful, I think, in Masters of Foxhounds is that it's protocols and its bylaws and things like that and regulations that we abide by is that hunting is to be taking place in public. That it's always sporting. It's what a live hunt versus a drag hunt. A live seek them out. It's like that golf man who seeks out those golf courses in the strangest places. They're passionate about it. They love it.
Okay. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Next up, I have Sandra Hobbs. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
I just want to say I'm relatively new to the sport of fox hunting, and I think this is going into my third year. I live in Shaden County, but I met Allison, and I was just like in awe of the demonstration that I saw. I thought this, because I wanted to get back and ride horses again, did when I was young. So anyway, the rest is history, but I have been, spent a lot of time at Whitehorn at this location most every weekend, sometimes 2 or 3 nights a week, and with my horse and a couple others. But in that area, along with the stream runs and it's green, initially before the cows were up there, we would watch the elk would be there, the antelope would come through, occasionally a coyote we would see. But after they moved the cattle out, and they're all along in that area, the hounds, I can testify that there's never been an issue with hounds. They just don't pay any attention to the cattle. And if people out around the train collars, they could come as close to, from me to you, and they don't pay any attention to the cattle. I've never seen, even in chicken time, they just ignore them. They have no interest in them.
Okay. All right.
Pretty much all I want to say, I guess.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next up, I have Jeannie Everett.
I'm going to preface this with, I talked to your secretary, I think yesterday, and asked about a time limit for talking, and she said 3 minutes. So I tried to condense my words and stay within the time limit. And I know you've all had emails and what have you from me, my granddaughter, different ones. So I will try to be brief. I just want to hit on the highlights.
Okay.
Okay? Anyway, I am 50% owner of Everett Cattle, which, as you all are aware, we own the town of Whitehorn, so we adjoin this kennel operation. And I'm going to just highlight, like I say, some points made in my granddaughter's email to you, and I'm quoting her. We have noticed discrepancies in the information provided to planning and zoning by Allison Brown, which was used to approve the application at the June 5th meeting. We believe that the information in section 28, which covers how the proposed use should have minimal effect on the adjacent uses, is both misleading and incomplete. First, the applicant failed to acknowledge that undesirable conditions do in fact exist, specifically in regard to our cow-calf operation and the game outfitting business. When prompted to list the effect the proposed use will have, she listed all as positive. Whether this be a lack of understanding of the long-time uses or blatant disregard, Ms. Brown's failure to acknowledge negative effects restricts her ability to provide buffer procedures. I gotta stop there. I'm not a public speaker. Yours is crazy. The potential damage the 26 dogs could cause if they were to get loose and chase, injure, or even kill livestock is obvious. Furthermore, the presence of hounds next to a big game grazing and bedding area could cause wildlife patterns to change or even leave the area, directly impacting my son's outfitting business. Good faith in her word on how well the dogs are trained is not a buffering measure. We expect the applicant to give real, tangible buffering measures against potential damage. Secondly, when prompted to address how the proposed kennel will meet the spirit of the Fremont right to farm and ranch policy and encourage existing business to stay in the county, the applicant simply lists predator control. We have learned her style of predator control is tracking a coyote so, please let me know if I'd like to attend. I had no response for planning and zoning. I did, however, receive an email from Ms. Brown, including a copy of my email to planning and zoning. They opted to forward it to her, but no response at all to me. So, I visited with Ms. Brown the morning of that hearing, and I asked her if they were going to accept public comment, and she said no, but she was going to be. Okay, so you can go. And then I called, I also learned that two other people were allowed to speak at that hearing, and chose not to. Well, I would have been there, or had someone there, had I been told and answered by planning and zoning that we would be allowed to speak. Okay, I think I'm about to point this out. It just kind of felt to me like I really wasn't wanted to be there, or wanted to at hearing. And today, I know you've received email correspondence from opponents, but as you might know, most of them are ranchers, and they are busy right now trying to put hay, take care of cattle, and using this precious water that we have right now. But I'm speaking on their behalf and urging you not to approve this application.
Okay, thank you very much.
Oh, I need to have one PS, because I picked up, I believe I couldn't hear real well in the back row what everyone was saying, but I believe my understanding of the Forest Service permits that she has to have this approval first before she hunts on these permitted areas. I'm not sure on that, but I believe that's right.
No, I believe the permit is already for the National Forest. It's in the packet.
Right, the
Okay,
National
but
Forest
it
is
is
issued.
for specified areas, right?
Correct.
SM, Midway, and Brown Creek. have
Yeah,
been
sounds
right up
familiar.
to Forest Service. Well, I believe you received an email to this effect also, that she was sitting south of Whitehorn area, down by Willow Creek, which is nowhere near the permitted areas. And that was maybe 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks, I don't know, somewhere in that. So that was not in keeping with her permit. So,
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
you get
Next up, I have Elliot Jackson. Is that right? Did I say that right?
Good morning.
Good morning. Hi.
Just very briefly, I wanted to say that pertaining to the issue of what other kinds of economic development might come about as a result of fox hunting in Fremont County. I currently reside in Custer County. I do ride out with the hounds. And Allison and I were both present at the planning department when she was looking at this property. And one of the reasons that I was interested in this property and have an interest in seeing this be true is that I am looking at possibly relocating to Fremont County up to that area of Whitehorn. One of the things that I was looking at and I asked the planning department about was a special use review for a meadery, which is making honey wine. My partner and I are very interested in doing this commercially. We have been brewing mead and cider for a number of years. We have talked with Colin Orchards and some of the local beekeepers about the possibility of a small boutique meadery that would be located in that area, and that is, I'm kind of waiting to see what happens with the application before we go ahead with that plan. But just speaking to the economic development impacts, I mean, I would probably be locating not only my business, but looking to relocate myself and my partner to that area. So that is just one of the things that I wanted to bring up, is say, do want to say that I was very favorably impressed with the professionalism and helpfulness of your planning department. It's a marked contrast to a different county that I've had to look at, and I won't be relocating to that county because of what I have seen happen to Allison. And I just want to say thank you for your time and consideration.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, bear with me here. Next up, Lori Camarino. Did I get that right? Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
I just want to say I'm one of her neighbors. The dogs do not bother me when I close my door. I do not hear them. I'm right across from it. I do take care of her dogs. I took that out about a month ago. And there's not many problems. They have little squabbles sometimes. But other than that, they're quiet most of the day. Every now and then they'll have like a little ritual. Some different dogs have little rituals where they howl at the sun going down or something like that. And, you know, like skip keys, they get in a circle. And when that sun starts going down a certain time of day, they'll all stand in a circle and they'll howl for about a minute. And then it's broken. But other than that, there's, I have no problems.
So you're directly north of this property? Okay. Okay, okay, I see it there. Okay. All right, thank you very much. Have Charlie Bearden next. Morning.
Good morning.
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 I live on the northeast property line borders, the Browns go in there. Miss Everett, she had said some things about the livestock and the animals, elk, things like that. A couple weeks ago, the other morning, I took some pictures with the dogs and the cows and the elk, all right in the same area. And I live up there full time, like all year round. And I have 4 hound dogs, and I got them to protect my livestock, my dairy goats. They're all in the same pen. And I'll tell you, I haven't had a buried goat. I haven't had anything attack my goats. So as far as the detrimental to the livestock and the wildlife, I don't see that. I've had those dogs up there for over a year. Miss Everett probably doesn't know that. I don't know how often she goes up there, but here's a picture of you guys can see.
Can we keep these?
Yeah, thank you. If anything, I have more issues with her cows going through my fence, eating my hay, eating the goat feed, fixing the fences, cow guys coming, cutting down fences, and fixing fences. I was down at Miss Allison Brown's house. It was snowing. I don't know whichever brought down some bulls. The bulls got in there, ate a bunch of hay, then some private property vehicles. I think Allison just chopped it up to get the fence out of state. However, you know, I've been trying to fix fences up there for years. I was putting down and back. The dogs, I have dogs. I have hound dogs, foxhounds, and no one's complained anything about my foxhounds in a year.
So are you just east of Lori then?
My house is kind of hard to see. I'm right there.
Oh, okay.
So, just north of me, that's Everett private land, and there's BLM land right there. Eric Fisher's land right underneath, Allison's, Lori's, a lot of BLM land over there.
Okay, now we got an idea where you're at. Okay, appreciate it.
And, do you guys have any questions for me as far as animals protecting livestock or anything like that?
No, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. Next up, we have Ray Lemons.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Still morning. I'm the owner of the original property there. I see the interaction with the livestock, all the wildlife. And we've had more problems with the cattle, because cattle have a tendency to just go down and they'll push through the fence. If they get to leaning, or they just come up to the fence and they push through them. And they have come into the property, and we really had kind of a problem with them, because they get in and they trample the kids' toys. They walk through all the flower gardens or anything else that we've had. And my son's always had big dogs. He's had German Shepherds, Rottweilers, Pit Bull, and basically it's there to keep coyotes are a real problem. Pack coyotes come into that area, and I think the coyotes are probably more of a problem up there than anything. But the neighbors around there, the two people that live there, Lori, and they live there year round. They have for several years, and we've known them. And like I said, it's a beautiful area. All of the elk and deer herds and things, they come down into the valley down there, along there, and they stay there until the cattle come. And then the cattle come in, and the whole wildlife leave. I guess that's a natural progression of them. But anyway, I think it's a beautiful area for the kennels, and I'm all for it.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ray.
Thanks. Okay. And last we have Tony Martinez.
Morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
So I've got a place that's just to the west of Cameron Mountain, about 2 miles away from the White. I've got 27 acres. I bought it 2 years ago, but I'm a Colorado native. My girlfriend lived here, so I'm familiar with the Everett's operation. I've known the Everett's for a long time. First, I honor what those guys do. They've done so much for the area. It means a lot to me. I'm right in the middle of their properties, and I'm grateful to have them around me. They're great neighbors. What I don't like is I don't like for people to come from out of Colorado and tell me that the dogs running through the forest are not going to impact wildlife. What a bunch of crap! You guys know better than that. It's going to have a significant effect on I bought the property a couple years ago from one of my good friends, and he and I have hunted in that area, and I know I love that area, and I know that by having a bunch of hounds baying through that area, it's going to have an effect on wildlife. And diminish that is like, that's not going to have an effect. Of course it will. And it's rich in wildlife. There's a lot of animals in there. And I pick Everett up. Everett cattle over baying hounds every time. The other thing is that a friend of mine wants to buy a section of land, not a section, one of the mining claims for me. And he and I have a contract. So he sent in a comment, data over, saying that said he's interested in this property, and but he's you can hear the dogs barking over in Whitehall. I don't know if you can or not. I've been building fences scary letter from her lawyer saying, you know, you don't own land over there yet. We want you to take back your comments. And I thought, you know, that's not a way to work with neighbors. You know, if you want to, you know, one of the things that if there's a problem with noise, why can't there be, if you're interested in working with your neighbors, why don't you, you know, the kennels that I've seen keep the dogs indoors. Okay, they're little kennels, they come out, you know, instead of, I drove by a month or two ago, and there's these dogs out in the open. You know, why not have a requirement from, you know, planning and zoning saying that, okay, and, you know, during the day when these dogs are not being used, you know, put them in a building so that any issues with noise would be taken care of. You know, the Forest Service is going to take care of the issue of where these dogs can run. You know, their permit will be limited to, you know, some area where probably there isn't much at all. There probably isn't much deer. But you know, so, you know, that issue will probably be taken care of. You know, they're probably not going to be, the hounds are not going to be running big on hunting area. You know, but what I do have a problem with is somebody coming in and making this representation that this is not going to have an effect. Of course it will. Somebody coming in, instead of starting out the dialogue with, what can we do as far as mitigating the noise, let's send out a nasty random letter from
Yeah.
the lawyer.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so all I'm asking is, at this point, I'd like to see mitigation as far as sound goes. We're
Okay.
going to build.
All right.
All right, thanks.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anybody else that hasn't spoken yet would like to speak? Okay, I will now close the public hearing. Ms. Brown, would you like to address any of the concerns that was brought up?
I just have 2 points. I recall a conversation that Mrs. Everett was talking about. One of the things that I appreciate for Fremont County, I think would be very open on sharing any comments, and I think you've been able to hear both sides because of that. I remember the conversation with Mrs. Everett very differently about the planning commission, planning and zoning meeting. I recall her actually telling me that she didn't intend to come to the planning zone. I certainly didn't tell her anything about public comments or anything like that. And what she informed me was that she didn't want to meet with me, she wanted to come and basically speak to you directly, which of course she's had the opportunity to do. The other thing too, she is correct that I've been riding down the Willow Creek. There's a forest road that goes down over that creek. The permit I have from the Forest Service covers group events. Those are my hunting club events. I'm not doing anything with the hunting club right now. The Forest Service doesn't restrict any private rider from going out on the land. The permit is for hunting activities. So just like anybody else can go along in the National Forest or ride the horses in the National Forest. Yes, I'm riding down Little Creek and I'm riding on Forest Service land. And part of the reason I'm doing is I'm exploring the area. It's a beautiful area from Indian circles, all sorts of archaeological effects. And that's one of the things the Forest Service wants me to report to them because they don't want me riding over areas that could have an archaeological impact as part of the routine.
How often do you go out with your dogs to hunt?
Well, right now, no, I don't start hunting until September.
Okay, well, I guess the better question is, what are your plans?
Right now I take them out hunting usually as a group event once a week. They're exercised more often. I mean, they need to get out and stay fit. I'm planning to retire, I hope, soon. And what's common is to hunt 2 or 3 times a week. I mean, that's one of the attractive things of the Strawberry. I live just down the road from Katie and other friends are talking about relocating up there. And I'd like nothing better than to be able to wake up
Where are your dogs at now?
They're spread out. Some are at Kitty's, some are at a place in Chief County, and some are on the 2366 property. They're going to be moved from that. That's the revised application.
Okay, and right now you have 26 dogs, is that right?
More than that, I have 25.
25. Okay. Any other questions?
Yeah, I've got a couple.
Okay.
What your website shows that it's a private pack, so that means you're not hunting at all. Is that what that means?
No, it means I own the house.
So, because it said you changed to a private pack since you were quote unquote being attacked.
Right. Before that change, it was a subscription pack. And what happened with a subscription pack, basically, it's like a club, like a, I don't know, hunting club or whatever, where people get together and you pay a subscription, like if they share a tent or something. I'm a member of the Beat Club in Chaffey County. I pay a subscription to them, and I get to go use their hunting attraction equipment at the fairgrounds. So I was running like that before I was a club, and people were paying subscriptions, and I was using that to offset the cost of the hounds. I never made money on it. When all the trouble started happening, and I started getting death threats and everything, I couldn't really put out public notices of where I was going to ride. I had guys literally threatening to shoot at me. So, it became very difficult, obviously, to encourage people to come ride, and I certainly didn't feel it was appropriate to ask people for subscriptions, given the circumstances. So, I moved to a private pack. I was never making money off of it. It was mainly friends. I was always quite happy opening up for anybody who wanted to come ride. That's really actually a condition of the Forest Service permit, because it's public lands. Anybody can come ride on public land. So I basically, it wasn't like I was making money off the fox hunting, so I just changed to a private pack, which means, I can choose who comes and goes. It's not like I put out a calendar and say, we're really hunting at this time for a location, and you don't have to come. People have to ask me, and I have to invite them. I have to do it for safety reasons.
Okay. And then your hunting season you said was September through March.
Yes.
But yet earlier you said you can't hunt during the first 4 rifle seasons.
That's right.
That's
Well,
correct.
I can't hunt in the Forest Service land during the first 4 months.
But you can on private ground.
Yes.
Do we have a stipulation on the time frame for the hunts, and we don't?
No, it'll be all tied
We
to.
don't regulate that.
Yeah, okay. Do you have any questions?
No, I'm done.
In one email from Nick, one of your neighbors, he had talked about limiting the dogs across there to at least 21, if not less. Would you be opposed to anything like that?
If that was the requirement for me getting a permit, I would agree to it. But you need to understand that these dogs are like family to me. So asking me to say these 4 noses can't live there would be difficult.
Okay.
But I feel very badly need a safe place for them. I've got friends and neighbors that have been wonderful about watching out for them. And, there's people coming that look like they might not be appropriately there, snooping around on ATVs, taking very vigilant. And that's important to me, that I know what they're going through.
I understand the pet thing, but they're not all together right now either, are they? And they're strung out right now, the dogs?
That's correct. I would like to bring them back together. They're pack animals. They want to be together. As I said, I can make it work if that's a stipulation. I just ask you not to have me make that decision.
Okay. Wishes?
Did you close the public hearing?
I did. Close the
Yeah.
public.
Mr. Chairman, I actually do have a motion to offer at this time. We have heard an awful lot of testimony, both in favor of and against approving this special review use permit. I need some time to digest some of the information that I've heard today. I need to go back through and read the materials once again with a different eye now that I've heard actually some of these things in person. Therefore, I move to table both the decision as well as approval of findings that shall be written before then to our next meeting, which is July 10th at 9:30 a.m.
I agree with that and second that.
Okay, I think that's also a good idea. As Commissioner Bell said, we got a lot of information here, and we want to make sure we digest it. So there's been a motion and a second on the floor. Is there any further discussion on that?
I just would like to say it's obvious that many of you are very passionate about this one way or the other, and I want to make sure that we get this right. I know you are eager for a decision. You all are awaiting what we are going to say about this. So I freely make an apology for that, but I think it's more important to get it right than it is to get it fast.
With that, roll call, please.
Commissioner Bell?
Aye.
Commissioner McFall?
Aye.
Commissioner Payne?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, so we'll reconvene July 10th on that. Okay, we'll move on to item number 6, new business. Hearing on petitions for abatement or refund of real property taxes, 2015, 16, and 17. Brenda, I believe you had something on this?
Could we wait just for a moment
Well,
while the
we'll
room
give it a
clears?
second here. Let the floor clear out.
Thank you.
Okay, I should have done that first, sorry.
Earlier this year, Wholesome, the U.S. Wholesome Incorporated submitted 2 petitions for abatement or refund on real property taxes. The assessor has reviewed those and recommend denial. The tax years are 2015, 2016, and 2017, and the schedule numbers are on the agenda. Wholesome has not submitted any documentation. I've been in contact with their attorney. He indicated there would be no appearances. Once the assessor makes a determination, the petitions are forwarded to the Board of Commissioners for final decision. So there is no opposing evidence. The assessor is entitled to a presumption of correctness in her valuation by statute, and so there must be some evidence to oppose it in order to change the assessor's valuation. Wholesome is aware of this. Their attorney is well aware of this and plans to appeal to BAA in Denver, which is generally where we resolve all of the tax issues on Wholesome anyway. So they have consented to an administrative denial by the board and know that that will be coming. So these are on the agenda for formal denial of the petitions for abatement and refund. And just keep in mind that it's not over. We'll resolve everything on appeal or go to hearing on appeal. So
That's pretty plain and simple, Mr. Chair. I move to deny hearings and petitions for abatement and refund of real property taxes years 2015, 16, and 17 for Wholesome USA.
I'll second that with the note that we have done this in the past. This is nothing unusual
No, this
to
is
go
standard
through
procedure.
the entire process with Wholesome. So that's my second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner McFall?
Aye.
Commissioner Bell?
Aye.
Commissioner Payne?
Aye.
Motion carries.
And with no further business coming before this board, we are adjourned.
You didn't get 11:30.
Almost made it.
Is this your longest meeting so far?
Probably.
Yeah, we got one.
We had one where we had.
I know how
Yeah, anything important tomorrow?
I always have important
They're front, aren't they in there?
questions. They all matter together.
I know.
Jeez.
What are you doing, Bab?
No, none of our meetings are important.
I was just curious because they broke down that I'm trying to get going again. And hopefully we'll-
You tell me my school's not getting done right now. Can't work now.
Yeah,
But
Relate to this focal